Hello and welcome to My Body, My Power podcast, where we shine our light, claim our worth, and empower the next generation. I'm your host, Kristen Rubis, a heart-led entrepreneur, mentor, and the creator behind the My Body, My Power movement. Here, we uncover authenticity, celebrate self-expression, and create a life and career that lights up the world. Welcome, Goddess. Let's dive in. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the My Body, My Power podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Rubis, and I have the absolute, ultimate, amazing pleasure to interview my sixth person on this amazing new podcast. And this was my business coach from last year. She's just the most inspiring person on the planet, Lola Love. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I am so excited and nervous, and my heart is just exploding of gratitude to be here and to chat.
Yay. Good.
Yeah.
So grateful to have you. And I wore pink for you today, and we are just all pinkified. So welcome, welcome. Well, Lola, tell us a little bit about yourself and the amazing work you do in the world.
Yay. So I am a brand strategist and creative director, and you're a heart-led hype woman. I work with entrepreneurs and leaders and female visionaries and creatives to help them be seen in the world through bold branding and charismatic content. I like to say I help transform leaders into legends. And
Beautiful.
I do that through my courses, consulting, and my creative agency, Passion Fruit Productions. And just pretty much just helping activate and inspire people to express their most magnetic, unshackled, free, liberated, fully expressed selves, to set their own creative spirit free and to make a positive impact in the world by being themselves.
Yes, good for you, and thank you. I had the pleasure of working with Lola last year for a few months as a business coach, and you really helped with my branding and my messaging and getting this podcast going. So you're a rock star to work with, and you're just vibe and hype and everything. It's like, that was my biggest thing of hiring you, is I needed a cheerleader. I needed somebody that was just here for me to be like, you got this, girl. And I'm getting chills because it's like, I still am so grateful to be connected to you. And at some point I'm coming to visit you and doing a photo shoot and all the things.
Yes, I know, it feels like so full circle that we're here right now. Like when we first connected was maybe like 7 years ago, because I found you online when I was living in New Zealand, and I was like, oh my God, empowerment for girls. Like, I'm creating something similar. You're my first business, Camp Wonder Girl. And we connected and we became like internet friends, and you were supporting me and mentoring me. And then like a couple years later, and then I was mentoring you, and now we're here on the podcast.
And we have rebranded to My Body, My Power. Yes, all the things for reals. Amazing. Yeah, no, that is great. Thank you for bringing the full circle in, because I got to mentor you, you got to mentor me, and now we're mentoring the world.
I love it.
Awesome. Yay. Well, what was the defining moment in your life that changed the way you see yourself in the world?
Okay, so going back to fresh out of college in corporate advertising in DC in this big ad agency, and I was such a free spirit, but I was stuck in this box and not the vibe. And I was just like trying to explore and learn about more who I am. So I went to Landmark, that personal professional development weekend retreat. Yeah. And I remember I was on stage in front of like 300 people, and I was wearing like tie-dye pants. I was like free spirit, but I was in corporate. And the coach was coaching me on stage, and he was like, you're over here telling people to live their dreams and be free while you're stuck in corporate hating your life. And he was like, you're a hypocrite. And I was
dang.
I literally froze, and I was like, you're right.
Wow.
Oh my God. I'm so out of alignment. And I remember when I went and I sat down at my seat and I took out my journal and I wrote down, I'm quitting my job on Monday.
Wow.
And I did.
So cool.
Straight to my boss. And I was like, I'm putting my 2 weeks in. I need to go be free and travel and explore. And she was like, wow, I've been waiting for you to do this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so that was
cool.
That was a moment where I realized like embodiment is everything, right? And like living and walking the talk. And from that, I quit my job, took a one-way trip to New Zealand, bought a van, lived in ashrams, just like spiritual awakening adventure journey.
Wow.
Created my first business, Camp Wonder Girl. started coaching women and then came and moved back to Austin. And it's been this like 6-year journey. But that really, that moment of being called the fuck out really kickstarted a journey of what is my dream? How do I go and live the most epic, awesome life I can live so I can share the story and actually inspire people to do the same?
Mm-hmm. Which you're doing, which you've done with me, and you continue to do every single day. Yeah. Awesome. And blessings to that landmark man. Like, right? Like, you just never know when somebody's going to hold up a reflection and be like, hey, love, check out this. So good for you for listening, right? Because you could have been like, oh, whatever, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's amazing.
Like the accountability of all those people looking at you too, of like, oh, okay, I can't hide anymore from myself. We gotta do the thing.
Beautiful. Yeah. So what pain or struggle have you turned into a source of power or purpose?
Pain or struggle. Okay, so after that journey, Camp Wonder Girl was doing really well. I was doing really well in my company and my coaching business with women. And I was like posting on Instagram and going online. I was starting to get pretty big. And then I went to Bali and I posted this video like in my bikini and I was like, you can live your dream. Wow. And that video ended up getting found by this account and they just ripped me apart. They remixed the video. They were just making so much fun of me and my message for like 5 days. And in that time, I was so ungrounded. I was only with my partner at the time in Bali, and it just absolutely crushed me. Wow. I was like getting canceled. I got hundreds of horrible comments and messages, like all my worst fears projected at me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and it really sent me into massive shadow work. So it was like 4 months I went offline and I was just questioning everything. Like, who am I? What am I doing? What's my business? Like it shook me.
Wow.
And I feel like that stirred up like a big T trauma, of like getting rejected and bullied and misunderstood, like all of that. That's definitely like my big issues. So having that like blown up at me really sent me. But like through that journey, I went into myself and stopped looking for external validation. Beautiful. And really discovered like who I truly am at a soul level. And came out unshakable. So I feel like, your drama and your trauma is your dharma, right? Like the shit you go through.
Nice, girl.
The hard stuff that you go through, like that leads you to your path and to your purpose. And I feel like that's why I can speak and teach and embody like unshackled expression and posting online, like your true self, because I've been so misunderstood that now it's like owning who I am so boldly that no one can fuck with me. You can't say anything because I know who I am and I love who I am more than anyone.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because then nobody can take that from you. But until we embolden that 1,000,000,000% within ourselves.
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
So Lola, since this is more of an educational podcast, and I always want our interviewers and our listeners to be able to gain tools from our interviewees. So can you share, since you did so much shadow work and you kind of took that path to go inward, what are some of the tools or modalities or methods or therapies that you were drawn to or that helped you that might support our listeners?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked this. Okay, so I created this 4-step process, the 4 F's, and I call it Traumagic.
Wow.
Which is
so cute.
Turning your trauma into magic, alchemizing your shit into gold.
Wow.
So the first step of this process, basically like any trauma or trigger that happens to you, you can go through this to alchemize. So first step is feeling. Like actually allow yourself to feel what's going on in your body. So one of my favorite ways to fully feel is through swamping. Have you heard of that from Mama Gina?
Nope. Okay, yes. Yeah. Tell our listeners, please.
So Mama Gina, she is a feminist icon. She wrote the book Pussy, A Reclamation. It changed my life. I am part of her lineage for sure. She has this process called swamping, which is basically dancing and moving and expressing through 4 different emotions, which is or I think it's 3. So starting with anger. So like putting on a song and just like, and like moving it and screaming and just like fully raging. And then doing sadness, because usually behind the anger is grief. So putting on a sad song and like crying and feeling and moving slow and like really giving yourself the space, like having a tantrum to actually feel and cry and process. So many times we feel something, but we shut it down or shame it or don't want to feel it. It's like, you have to feel it, right? Feeling is healing. And then once you go through grief and then you go into turn on. So it's 3, it's rage, grief, turn on. And you go through grief and then you go into like getting sexy again, remembering your power, feeling your body, feeling your pussy, dancing, and like feeling that turn on. And so that's like one of my favorite ways to feel and move through the emotions, because women, the power is in our body, right? My body, my power. That is where emotions and trauma and stored memories, things live. So we need to move and process that.
Beautiful.
So that's feeling. And then next, after we feel, we move through all the, and that could take a while. Like for me, that was like weeks of like feeling and feeling.
Okay, I was going to say, right.
Yeah. And then the second one, the second F is feedback. So this is asking people that you trust. Like for me, it was like my mom, my friends, my coaches, my mentors. I would get feedback. I'd be like, hey, this is what's going on. I just like, it's so helpful for me and for women just to talk it out, right? Of like saying, sharing, getting feedback, getting reflection to see like what blind spots am I missing? Like, where am I right? Where am I wrong? How can I grow? How can I learn? Like, and really getting support from people that you trust and love, so you can see yourself in a clearer way and honest feedback.
Right.
Not just like, yeah, you're great. It's like, like there's work here to be done. So
compassionate, constructive criticism.
Yeah, I love that. Compassionate, constructive criticism. Yes. So after feedback, then third F is frame. And that's reframing the story, right? From this happened to me, I'm a victim, woe is me, into going through that like empowerment process of, okay, framing it of how is this for me? How can I reflect on this? And doing a lot of reflection, a lot of self-inquiry, a lot of journaling and asking those questions to see like, what is the gold here? How is this supporting me? Changing the story from and into like claiming it of like, this was for me. I'm a leader. I'm a creator. Somehow in my subconscious, in my being, I created this experience. And I know that you had to go through a similar process with your rebranding, like really claiming like, okay, this is rising me to a new level. And at the time when it was happening to me, I was in this mastermind and all the women were like, oh, congratulations, you made it. You're getting big now. You have opposing viewpoints. And I'm like, yeah, great. But at the time I did not feel that. So but then after processing, reflection, then it was like, okay, this actually was for me. Okay, this is great. This helped me know who I am more. So we get to reframe the story and making it an empowering one and sharing it and starting to tell the story to yourself first and then to the world of
beautiful,
the new story.
That's a wonderful process.
Yeah. And then so that's 3. And then 4 is flow. So what I mean by this is actually starting to create from this. Like now you change the story, now create and alchemize. I feel like the hardest, most intense, emotional, charged experiences that happen to us is what forms the highest creativity, like the most beautiful art. Right? Like the most amazing love songs are from love and heartbreak. And so alchemizing our emotions through art and through creativity so you don't become creatively constipated. So we flow. So through that, like during that time, for me, it was writing poetry and I was writing rap songs and I'm like, this is me. And I was writing songs. And so like creating in whatever channel that wants to come through, whether it's dance or poetry or writing or art, like just allowing yourself to create and create something beautiful from the mess. And that is Traumagic.
You are awesome. That is so wonderful. Good for you.
Yeah.
And so within that kind of your traumagic process, like you came up with these 4 Fs. Now, do you share that as a coach and mentor to your clients? Or is this just a personal thing
first
that
time I'm like actually sharing it like
Okay.
in that frame? So I'm really excited that this is coming up.
Heck yeah, it sounds like a masterclass to me.
Right? Traumagic, turning your shit to gold. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Dang.
Well, and I just think like witnessing you go through that online, right? Because I haven't met you in person yet, but just witnessing that and the real raw experience that you had, you know, it was profound to witness you then to rebuild and to come back and to, I mean, you already were so vibrant and just spicy and saucy, but now there's no holding back, it feels like. And I just like, it's more embodied, you know, I mean, you're younger than me. You're like 20 years younger than me. So to witness you doing all these things and then to come back into this more embodied, just matured life, you know, process has been really beautiful to witness. And then to receive your coach and your inspiration and to be on the receiving end of what you offer is just profound. So good for you. And thank you. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it just to like the rebuilding. So that happened during my Saturn return, like the beginning of my Saturn return when I was 29, which is like all structures, everything. And then through that, like I literally changed my entire life. Like I left New Zealand, came to Austin, broke up with my partner of 5 years, closed my businesses down, came here to literally, like you said, rebuild from nothing. Like I lost all my confidence. I lost any form of identity because I'm here in a new city, new house, new car. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't have a business. Like to really, and then it's been 2 years since I've moved here, pretty much almost to the date of such deep grief and rebuilding. And really, I feel like going from maiden to not mother, but yeah, kind of mother, like to woman, to a grounded woman and like mothering myself. Yes. Taking care of myself and now creating like my new business. And finally, like I just, you know, this podcast is coming in so divine timing because I feel like I feel so finally so embodied and so confident. And I'm just like, let's go.
Seriously. I can feel it. I mean, I can see it, I can sense it, but I can like feel it where I'm like, that's what's different. And that's really how we're going to move through any kind of major trauma and turn it into magic is embodiment and moving it through and letting those pieces go from our bodies, our hearts, our spirits. But to now be on the other end and then coaching people that whether people get taken advantage of on internet or whatever, it's just people lose things, people get pushed out of things, people end things, and it can just be so emotional. So to have the 4 Fs to help them get back into their flow and back into their freedom is like, heck yeah, let's go. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so what's your best piece of advice you have for stepping into greater self-worth to serve others?
Unshackle yourself. Unshackle yourself. Like really look at the shackles, the limitations, the rules that's holding you back and playing small. You know, the rules from society telling you who to be, how to dress, what to wear, what a woman should be like, how you need to, or even like rules from social media, like how to be professional and presentable and perfect. Like looking at those rules that you're living by and then looking at the characters within yourself. You know, we have like our limiting beliefs, but I like to make them as characters. So like Little Miss Perfect Polly, Too Much Tina, Not Enough Nina, Shameful Sarah, Felicia the Fraud, like all of these characters within us that are criticizing us and holding us back. Like really take a look, go deep within yourself, look at those shackles.
Yeah, beautiful.
Look at those shackles that is stopping you from living your dream, being your fullest self, being the most you can be. Starting to remove those shackles, unshackling it so you can, you know, get that gold that is your heart And through that, like exploration, self-exploration. I love using tools like human design, astrology, numerology, wealth dynamics, Enneagram. Like I love those personality quizzes and tools to really look like so deep within yourself and research yourself. Like, who am I? Who am I? Like get to the soul, get to the core of who you are. And what did you love as a kid? You know, what do you love? Who are you? And then once you have that clarity, like having the absolute audacity and the courage to be that and do that and share it with the world.
Heck yeah. I mean, otherwise, what are we doing? But it's hard. It's not easy. I mean, I'm riding that train a little bit myself, you know, it's just like becoming a bigger presence and putting yourself out there more. Yeah. I mean, and I think too, it's like, it's so curious with your situation of the whole Bali thing where it was like, that was your biggest fear and you got to work through your biggest fear. Yeah. So, I mean, that in and of itself, that's how it works, right? That's for us. That is not to us. Like if we have these fears, universe, karma, whatever, it's going to help you work those out so that you become unshackled and can be your truest, freest self.
Oh my God. And you know, it's so funny. It just made me click when you said this was your biggest fear. It's so funny because Bali was my life's long, like biggest dream.
Yeah.
It was like, since, you know, seeing everyone on social media, I was like, I want to go live the dream in Bali, laptop lifestyle, Bali, like the biggest dream. Like I had to go live that dream. And that dream led me to experiencing one of the biggest fears. Wow. So just, I mean, you know, the fear fuels you, your dreams, you have to follow the dream, follow the fear, because that is how you grow into being the most embodied, expressed version of yourself.
Whoop, whoop. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much on that. So how did you discover your unique gifts or message, and how are you using them to serve others?
Kind of like
what took you from like the corporate to the unshackled world?
Yeah, I think it was those deep self-inquiry tools and practices to go so deeply within your being and body and breath and explore and feel. So, you know, like all those things I mentioned, those tools, but also like meditation and yoga, journaling, to look within at what you desire and what's stopping you. So that self-inquiry, and then, yeah, having like truly finding people around you, community, that people that inspire you and lift you up, friends, mentors, like being around people that are living the life you want or are there too, that have the same values and vision. Because then you don't feel as crazy or weird or wild, like following your dreams or being yourself as other people around you. So having like community and doing the self-exploration in community was a big piece for me, because I was living at ashrams and yoga retreats. I was doing personal development trainings, and I was just always around other people doing the work. Because you know, you can go to a top of a mountain and meditate for weeks, but people are our mirrors. And anything that you see in others that triggers you, it's like, look at that within yourself. Where are you judging others? How can you love yourself? And having more, compassion and grace for who you are. Like the work that I do with people now is that deep self-exploration, using all these tools, astrology, human design, using those tools to then shape and create your identity, because we have like our soul, who we truly are the oneness. We're all the same. We're all one. And we have our ego, like our identity, the character, the avatar that we are. And so I like to say that our ego is a servant to the soul, to our soul's mission. So we really get to shape and create and dress and talk and walk in this avatar. I know you did that. We did that work together. It was like the warrioress of love.
Yeah. Kiki, the love warrior.
yes, right? Like Lola Love. It's like I've created this self to serve the soul, which is helping inspire people to create. And that creativity is the medicine. So helping people do that, I help them do that through their brands, through expression, style, content, you know, like putting themselves out there in that way. And man, that is, it's hard work and it's scary, but when you do, it's like, it is the most liberating, and knowing that your message and your expression is medicine for you and for other people.
That's how I feel every time I see you on Instagram and all your girl parties and the one you just did. It was like, you are so in the feminine, like it's so powerful, and just that you have embraced that part of you, because we can delve into that or not. We can be the super expressive of the divine feminine or not, and you're choosing to be in full expression. And it's beautiful. It's so just to get, that was my thing again. I hired you to be this cheerleader, but just to get on your vibe and get on this like Lola Love train where I'm like, I'm going with this, babe.
Yes. And I just want to like shout out to like the women who inspire me. I literally have them on my wall, like in my room. Mama Gina, Layla Martin, Gala Darling, Chapel Roan, Marie Forleo. Yeah, these women who have chosen to go down the feminine path, preach it, live it, teach it. And like, so, I bet so many people that listen and your readers and listeners, it's like with the old way of living is like burnt out, living the masculine, trying to do things like men, but forgetting that our superpower is our femininity, is our intuition, our creativity. And for me lately, a big part of my journey has been releasing shame on my sensuality and my sexuality, and knowing that the power is in the pussy, like this, and I've been exploring Tantra on my own and with someone that I've been seeing, and that has been so liberating and just deepening even more into the feminine expression. Like, that's what we're here for, right? It's so juicy when you're in that and you trust in that connection to the divine.
Yeah, girl, it's beautiful to witness you. So tell us, Lola, what does my body, my power mean to you?
Ooh, my body, my power. My body, my power to me means that literally our pleasure, our potential, our power, everything lives within our body, lives within this vessel. Our creativity, our intuition, our heart, our womb, like this is where the feminine power lives. And like through this whole conversation, we've been talking about embodiment and, processing and becoming the woman of your dreams through the vessel, through the body, right? Through releasing trauma, through breathing and moving and like walking and standing and dressing as the highest you that you can be. And knowing that your power in your body is like, you are the creator, you are the director, you are the star, you are the writer, you're the audience, like you are all of it. You are the one that is in charge and empowered in your life.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah. And this is the vessel. Like, this is the vessel where the magic happens, where creativity comes through, where our voice is our power, being able to speak up. Like, this is the vessel, this is the oracle, and all the answers lie within our body and our hearts.
Beautiful. I'm working with a new coach, Camille Kraft. She has Vital Mystic, and she says that you are, or I am the ritual. We're doing so much rituals to release and manifest, and it's just like, I am the ritual, and I am the power, I am the peace, all of that, but just embracing that magic about ourselves.
Yeah. It's so funny. I got asked the other day, like, oh, what are your morning rituals? Like, what does your routine look like? Like, what do you do? I bet you do all this stuff. And I'm like, I used to have like a 3-hour morning routine where I would do all the things. And now it's like, I feel so connected to my body and my presence and spirit within me that it's like, I hardly need to do stuff because I'm literally living in ritual and ceremony and prayer all day.
Beautiful.
Day. And like for me, singing lately, that has been like everything. That's like alchemization, breath work, embodiment, emotions, like just the channel of voice. Like that's it for me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So living in that and just becoming it.
Heck yeah. Here we go. So what does radical self-expression mean to you, and how has it played a role in your journey?
Oh my God. It's everything. It's radical. It's everything. It's living, breathing, walking, talking your message. And I think radical expression, when it's felt, the most magnetic expression is when it's so deeply connected to you and who you are and the truth of what you're going through and what's alive and what's real. And when you have the bravery and the courage to share that and show that to the world, that's radical. Like the vulnerability of being like, here is me, here's this. And it's like, when you own it, when you own your story, no one has any power over you. Because you're like, I love it. So when we do the shadow work to accept the parts that aren't beautiful, and then love the parts that are, and be like, this is all of me, the sexy, the spiritual, the sensual, the silly, like, this is all of me. Here I am. Like, have your way with me. It's like radical expression. It's creativity. It's God expressing itself. So it moves through us.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. That's awesome. Is there something you never get asked that you wish somebody would ask you?
Thought about this one for a while when you sent me the show notes, but I think it comes down to someone asking, what would your great, great, great grandkids say about the life you've lived?
Wow.
And for me, like, so I've been making funny YouTube videos with my friends since I was 14. And like the intention behind that, when I'm always pouring into that channel, it's like that it's not just content. It's not just your brand and, you know, these funny videos. It's literally your legacy. And so I feel like when you pour energy into creating big projects, into sharing your story, into sharing your experiences and documenting your life and showing this wild, precious life that you live that only you can tell the story about, it creates this legacy. So then your great, great, great grandkids can be like, oh, wow, what did my, you know, great grandma Lola Love do? Like, where did I come from? You know, what is this life? And just wanting to pave the way for future generations of what's possible and a life of liberation and freedom. Yeah.
Yes. So do you have any projects or events or happenings coming up that you can mention to our listeners?
I'm really excited about this guide that I made. Your magnetic aesthetic.
Ooh.
So I brand people based on their astrology. This is one tool that I use for branding. And so your magnetic aesthetic is your visual vibes aligned with your astrology signs. So we use your rising sign and your Venus sign to create your magnetic aesthetic, which is just one part of your brand, your visuals. So I have a free guide that anyone can download and get. We can put that in the show notes. And that is just so fun. I poured my heart and all this research into that. Beautiful. There's like color palettes for every sign. There's a ChatGPT prompt in there. There's AI images of like your style.
Cool.
I just like, my vision is I want everyone to be fully expressed, like in their color, in their vibe, walking through the world, feeling confident. As you can tell, this is my aesthetic. It's freaking, I'm Sag and Libra. So it's this boho, feminine, classy, chic thing. So magnetic aesthetic, that is such a fun guy. We did your magnetic aesthetic. Hey?
Yeah. Leo colors. Yep. I send it off to all my graphic designers and marketing help and like, okay, revamp these colors. Here we go.
Right. Yes. So that, wonderful. And then the deeper way to work with me is my signature methodology, which is called Boom Branded, because we're about to get you boom branded. So that comes with the whole entire Notion play space that has all these templates and guides and prompts, plug and play to help you explore, like do that inner exploration of your essence, your expression, your embodiment, your brand design, like, and then also your content strategy. We have my flow flavors, different types of your content creator persona, helps you find what kind of content to create. We have all these calendars and finding your offerings. So there's lots of good stuff in that Boom Branded play space. And then it comes with a creative consultation as well. So that's where the real juice is. So I can reflect back and see you and support you in expressing yourself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And how do we find you online?
So you can find me on Instagram at iamlola.love. And on YouTube, I'm going to be starting to release my new YouTube series soon, all about branding and content creation. And that is Lola Love on YouTube. Okay. My website is iamlola.love.
Beautiful.
That's everything.
Wonderful. Yeah. And any final words for our listeners?
Yeah, I just want you guys to remember, like, your life is a fucking masterpiece. It is an absolute masterpiece waiting to be created and experienced by you. So my final message is to paint the world loud and proud. Be you, be big, be bold, be bright, be brave. You know, be too much, because the world needs you to be too much. And just have fun living every day as if it's a music video. And remember to have
so
fun.
Awesome. You're so awesome. Well, thank you, Lola. It's been such an honor to have this amazing conversation. You've shared so many amazing tools, and it's just great to get to know you more each time that I get to connect with you. It's such an honor. So thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. Thank you to our listeners. We appreciate you hopping in and listening to this episode, and we'll catch you next time. Community Power rocks. Thank you for joining me on this journey of empowerment and connection on the My Body, My Power podcast. If you loved today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who inspires you. Together, we're creating a ripple effect of confidence, courage, and light. Until next time, Goddess, keep shining your power.